little after 10 o'clock in the morning, out wandering around in the yard. You guys have been asking for a yard walk for quite a while. We haven't squeezed one in, so thought it'd be a good time to do it. We've got a little bit of breeze today, but it's not terrible, but we will have to deal with a little bit of wind noise. A few things before we get started. Tonight, Sunday night live chat, I will be out of town. If I get to the hotel and have everything set up and ready to go, then you know, we may jump on for a little bit tonight, but it will not be a full episode because I'm not taking a bunch of stuff with me, promos, emblems, things like that. So we will try to possibly do that yet this evening. But anyway, for today, I thought we'd walk around the yard, check a few things out. A couple things we are dealing with. Obviously, we are vertical. YouTube is not letting us do anything other than vertical on lives right now, which I know kind of stinks. There's number one here ready to go. And so we have to deal with the vertical format for the time being. If you want to see a part, more than happy to show it to you. If you want to get into a lot of pricing and the specifics, just call me after we get done. Happy to show you a fender. But if you know, I don't want to get into the pricing, do you need the fender, do you need the trim, you got to pick it up, does it have to be shipped? We usually get a pretty good crowd on here, so happy to show you something. But don't want to get into all that while everybody else is on here wanting to see cars. So give me a shout after we get done, 620-786-4428. Be happy to have that conversation with you. JP's here, Waycamp's on, John's here, Bert's with us. As always, these are viewer guided tours. Scott's here. You want to see something, you let me know and we'll try to work our way that direction. We've had quite a bit of rain last week, so it's a little bit wet, but we're walking, so it's okay, not a big deal. But that's kind of what we've got going. And like I said, just give me a shout after we get done if you need specifics. But in the meantime, we'll check some stuff out. There's Pete ready to go today. So anyway, we're just kind of out in the middle of the yard. Like I said, this is up to you guys what you want to see. Tim B here ready to go. Glad you guys made it. Like I mentioned earlier tonight, I'm going to try to get on if I get to the hotel and get everything set up. The way today looks, if the schedule goes according to plan, I should be in the hotel around 7:30 or 8 o'clock tonight, and we'll have some time to jump on. If everything goes according to plan, we should be there by then. So Mike from Texas is here, so bear that in mind. We'll try to get on for a short episode tonight, but it won't be a full meal deal because I won't be here to have all my stuff with me. It's pretty nice. We've got a little bit of breeze to deal with, but that's part of it. We're in Kansas. A little bit of breeze is pretty good because sometimes it's 40 or 50 miles an hour. So. But anyway, let's flip this thing around. Let's start checking some stuff out. You guys let me know what you want to see. Whatchamacallit today. So, I know this vertical thing stinks. We can't get a good view with the vertical thing. But unfortunately, we don't have much choice. That's what YouTube's making us do as of right now. So, anyway, this is a cool one. Look at the rear wheels on this truck. These things are huge. Yeah, we'll see how things go, Pete. Like I said, if we've got everything done, we ate, we're checked in, and I'm just sitting at the hotel with nothing to do at 7:30 or 8, we'll try to jump on for a bit. Big Red Schultz here today. Check this thing out. It's falling apart, but look at this. You guys can make this out. This is like a 23 white. I can tell you which vehicle we're picking, none. It takes everything for me to do to get that weekend put together. There is no way I'm gonna even think about trying to work on something. And it wouldn't even come together if in the fashion that it did if it wasn't for the help from Pete and Rico and Jess and everybody else that helped put that together. So I can tell you I'm not working on anything because I barely have the shop picked up and cleaned up in time, and that wouldn't have even gotten done had Rico and Jess not come in early. There just isn't enough hours in the day. So anyway, what do you guys think? What do we want to do? Yeah, that white's got white all over. I think I did a video on that truck a few years ago. Kind of over here around some of the big trucks. Have not gotten any 6-speed specials in lately. I'm fairly close to one. We can go walk by one. but have not gotten any of them in here as of lately. But I do know there is one over here. So I will walk by it, what the heck. That's all we're doing today, just out wandering, hanging out, checking some stuff out. So like I said, if you want to see something, you just let me know. This one was a 6-speed special. Not a lot left of it. So how do you know for sure it was a 6-speed special? Well, the only reason I know it's a 6-speed special is it says 6-speed special. Yeah, any of this 20 stuff is getting tough to find. So that's the only reason I know this is a 6-speed special. It literally tells me right there. So anyway, had some stuff come in yesterday. Actually had quite a bit of stuff come in yesterday. 2 cars, 3, 4 cabs, and a ton of sheet metal. A lot of Ford pickup stuff come in yesterday. In fact, almost everything that came in yesterday was Ford. One of the cabs was a Dodge. The rest of them were all Fords. One of the cars was a Dodge. No, Plymouth. Got a Plymouth in yesterday and then a Ford. So heavy on Fords yesterday hitting the ground. There it is, guys. Check that baby out. The blue Chevy Love. Okay, we're not too far from it. We can work our way that direction. If you didn't catch the video on that baby, you got to check that thing out. Rambler wagon. What era, John? There's lots of puddles around here. Yes, that was the Wizard. Let's catch this blue Love. Doors for 66 D200. I've got some 64 5 era. I don't have any 66s. Okay, John, we'll head over to that Rambler here in just a minute. Here's the blue Love. 55 Chevy what? New tube. The grill's missing, a few other little pieces. 55 Chevy trucks. I've got some depending on what you want to see. No problem, John. Let's go catch that Rambler wagon. So you're talking 2nd series 55 Chevy trucks, new tube, that's what we're talking about. Side marker lights, let's check real quick. None there. No side markers on this one. This one has the rears down low. I do not have any 81s, number one. I've got, Tractor Mike brought one in that was newer than this one, but it was not like the square nose style like the 81 was. That side marker is broke. I'm sorry, I assume you're talking about the orange one, number one. Okay, so 2nd series 55 Chevy trucks. We'll head over towards some GM trucks here in a little bit. There's a 1st series 55. All right, we'll swing over by the orange Love, and then we'll swing up to the Rambler wagon. Then we'll head to some GM trucks. So yeah, we've got water standing. We've got plenty of water standing, don't worry. Not have any Mercury pickups, nope. I'd like to get a Mercury pickup tailgate, I've never found one. There's Neil. I believe this is the one we're talking about, number one. This was newer than the other one, but it was not the flat nose like the last ones. From Tractor Mike. There's some side markers. I don't know if those are the same or not. Yeah, yep, that's definitely your area. The Mercury pickups from the north. All right, we need to catch that Rambler wagon and work towards some GM trucks. How about a Cadillac? 1980 Coupe de Ville. More water. Some A-body GM stuff. Rod Shop Press is here. There's a bunch of GM trucks. We'll swing through those here after we catch this Rambler wagon. There is some differences in those doors, Ken. There's Glenn. I don't remember. There is some differences in the latches. So even though those trucks are similar from 62 to 71, not all those doors are the same. So if that like 64 door is the same, I've got some possibilities. There's the Rambler wagon. This grill is broke, depending on which grill you need. I actually just got another Rambler grill from this era. I think this is a 58. I think the grill I got last week was a 59 maybe. So I think this is the one you wanted to see. If not, let me know. Walter's here. Sweet new tube, appreciate it. All right, let's catch some GM trucks, preferably late 50s. And now that Glenn's on here, 2 more cars in yesterday, courtesy of Glenn. Glenn helps us out, keeps his eye peeled for cool stuff. 2 more came in yesterday, courtesy of our good friend Glenn. Sounds good, Ken? No problem, John, that's what we're on here for. So this block right here is all GM trucks. They're all gonna get moved as I'm reshuffling and sorting things, but maybe you like some of these, new tube. Depends on what we're talking about, Walter. What kind of ranch are we talking about? If we've got something, we can go try to check them out. Henry's here with us. Lincoln, what kind of Lincolns we want to see, Walter? If your name is Jeff and you like Chevy trucks, that would be a pretty cool patina truck to build. Pop-Tart Trucking's here with us. 58 Chevy truck. Gremlins. We do have one Gremlin we can go check out. Big back window was available as an option on late 55 to 59, was not standard on any of them. Jingling Baby Garage. We are in central Kansas, Great Bend, Kansas. Dualies, 76 to early 86. I do not have any complete trucks. I've got one early dually bed for a square body, but I do not have any complete dualies, depending on what you wanted to see on that, Joe. 60s Fairlanes, Comets, and Falcons. I've got quite a bit of that depending on which generation. Are we talking 60 to 63, 64, 65, 66, 67? Let's head towards the Gremlin. Give me some more info on the Fairlanes and Comets and Falcons. We'll catch some of those as well. But there's one block of the GM trucks. Sounds good, YouTube. Stay tuned. We got a lot more stuff coming. 49 to 52 Pontiac Beltline trim. Depends on what you want, Nathan. 2-door, 4-door. I assume you're looking for shark trim, but depends on which one you need. I think I may have some of it left depending on what you need. Heading towards the Gremlin, and then some Fairlanes, Falcons, and Comets once we get that narrowed down. So let your friends know that we're on. Have them jump on, join us as we check out some iron. 2-door preferably. I think I sold the last set of 2-door stuff I had a little while ago. I think I've got some 4-door stuff left. But I'd have to double check that and see. If you want to give me a call, you know, later today or tomorrow, I'll get you on my notepad and double check and see what I've got left. Thanks, John. There's Weston. There's one courtesy of Glenn. Glenn saved this one for us yesterday. And here's a Gremlin, a Gremmy X. A little rough, but pretty much all there. Thanks, Darren. Hey, more Trans Ams. That surprises absolutely no one on here, I'm sure. What were we talking about, Darren? Is that the Gremlin or? Tim's here for a bit. Classic Car Guy's on with us. How about some Cadillacs? The Gremlin I'm keeping. My daughter loves them. One of these days we'll buy one, so I'm going to make sure we keep that one for a parts car. Here's some 4-door. Yeah, this 4-door's got shark trim on it. There's a set of shark trim on a 4-door. I thought there was still some of them here, but. So here's a 49 4-door Fleet Line, and I think it has it's got shark trim on both sides yet. Yes, there's a set for a 4-door. Skirts off a 53 Cadillac. I do not have any 53s. Yep, that's what we do this for, Darren. It does remind us of stuff. That's right, there's a Pacer wagon. White Trans Am. I've got several white Trans Ams, Big Red. Which one are we talking about? Do not have any 65 Barracudas. I've stripped a couple out. I've got some miscellaneous pieces off of some of them, but I do not have any 65 Barracudas. This Cadillac is full of skirts, but I don't know if there's any 53s in it or not. But the whole back of this car is full of Cadillac fender skirts. The race week one hasn't been out since race week last year. We didn't do it this year due to scheduling conflicts, and so it hasn't moved since a year ago in June. It's actually, we backed it back in front of the pewter car because I bought a pewter car too. I bought the pewter car, we backed the pewter car in the shop, yanked a bunch of parts off of it so we had spare stuff for the white car for race week 23. And then we got done with race week 23, backed the white car back in front of the pewter car, and that's where they're sitting. We're located in central Kansas. Great Bend is where I'm at. I'm not open to the public at all. I don't have time to be. I do everything myself. Other than, I do have some guys that haul cars for me, but for the most part, as far as checking parts, pulling parts, packaging parts, shipping parts, all the media, eBay, Facebook, YouTube, Craigslist, I do all of it. So I just don't have time to be open to the public. If there's something somebody wants to look at, they can absolutely call me, come schedule a time to come look at something. But as far as just being open and letting people wander around, I just don't have time to do it, don't have insurance to do it. So Frank's here with us. Yep, there was a lot of style in those cars back then. I've got a lot of 58 to 64 Impalas, just depends on what you're looking for, classic car guy. So anyway, we'll head over towards some Fords because we had some questions about some of the Fords. I do have one group of Falcons and Comets and Fairlanes together. I've got a lot more than this group, but without knowing a specific year, we'll just catch that group. So yeah, if we get another gathering put together, we will have some guys out here for the gathering of the nobodies once we get that date picked. But that will be a limited engagement as well because we just can't have a ton of people in here. But that looks like that's going to come together again too. So the Lincoln, big old 56 Lincoln, another one courtesy of Tractor Mike. '67 to '72 Ford tailgate. I've got several, depending on how good of one you want. I've actually got one in the shed that was taken off in 1974 and put inside. It's an excellent gate all the way down to rougher ones. So I've got several. Just depends on how good a one you want, Matt. So there's a few Fairlanes and Falcons down here. We'll head this direction and let me know what you guys want to see next. '65 Fairlane Sports Coupe, V8 factory air car, some Falcon wagons. So a few of them sitting here. Okay, I think I've caught up most stuff. I'm sure I missed a few. I try to catch as many comments as I can. Just sometimes things get busy. But let's head back to another area of the yard. We haven't been back this direction for a bit. Walking back by the Wizard. What an amazing piece of art. Do not have any 59 Impalas. The only thing I've got in 59 are Bel Airs. So right now, we're just kind of wondering. You guys let me know if you want to see something, or if you see something you want to take a better look at. That's where it's headed. Just haven't gotten that far yet. But I haven't worked out here in a month or so, so it's been a while since I did much out here at the yard. Yeah, and I agree, John. I would love to see somebody do something with the Wizard. Glenn said when they brought it to him, they told him it did still run. So if somebody could get that thing running, clear coat it, that's what needs to happen. That would be awesome if that would happen. So if any of you guys want to jump on the Wizard, just let me know. There's another Falcon. This is a pretty decent little Falcon. Yep, we do have several boat tail ribs too. That's a fairly decent little Falcon. Dodge pickup. Wadded up Carmen Ghia. Some more Chevy pickups. Yep, vans are getting popular. I really think somebody should do something about that. No, I haven't talked to Derek in a while. Chad Reynolds with Bankshift and I are working on a project, and he has talked to Derek about that project. So I haven't personally talked to Derek lately, but I know Chad has been in contact with him. So we'll see if something comes out of any of that. Joe Google here, Joe S. Ford F-350, what era are we talking about? 37 Olds. Check this out. I love this truck. I know we've looked at it before. This thing is so cool. The Dodge Snowfighter. Now, real quick story about this truck. The farmstead where I bought this truck off of, and yes, this is factory. This is a factory stripe kit, factory snowplow attachments. This is a factory deal. Now, the farmstead where I got this Snowfighter at, there were a couple of other Dodge pickups. 40 Ford truck cabs. I've got some conventional stuff left, 40 to 47, nothing that's perfect. I've got some workable stuff that's going to need like some floor pan touch up and things like that. Structurally, I've got good stuff, but nothing that's really super clean left in a 40 to 47 conventional cab, no COE cabs. But when I got this Snowfighter, by the time I got to that farmstead, I had already missed a couple of other Dodge trucks. Well, I say I missed them. There was a family member had claimed a couple of the other Dodge pickups that were at this farmstead. So I bought the Snowfighter, and this family member had gotten the other couple trucks. Well, about 4 or 5 months ago, he decided to sell them. So I bought those trucks as well. Now, one of those is a running, driving pickup that I haven't showed you yet. It's coming up soon, and it's just an old driver pickup. It's not like super nice or anything, but it is a really cool truck. This Snowfighter is cool, so is this other one. It is a factory club cab, short bed, 4-wheel drive, half-ton, factory order with a 440. So I'm kind of excited about that truck, and it runs and drives. We're gonna go drive it around. So excited for that one. Adonai's here with us. Thanks for stopping by. What do you guys want to see next? We're just gonna keep wandering, checking out some cool old iron. You guys let me know what you think. '78 Ford pickup. These things are getting crazy popular. Factory Ranger. We did do a video on this truck because this truck has everything you would expect to see on this truck by 1980 is here. So this is a 78 Ranger, so a square headlight, but it has the painted grill guard, the mandatory bug off bug shield, and yes, it is a bug off brand. Aluminum diamond plate running boards. Of course, all the racetrack trim for the two-tone. Painted rear step bumper. Tailgate protector. Everything you would expect to see in that this truck would have. Oh, and the painted toolbox. Everything you would expect to see on one of these trucks by 1980 was installed. 69 to 78 F350s, 60 or 61 Impalas. I've got 160, but there's very little left of it. I've got a 61 four-door hardtop that we're pretty close to. We can walk by that. And then I've got I know there's a 69 and a 78 F350s, so we'll catch those as well. So there's a 61 Impala right here, and there's a 60 Parkwood right behind it. We are in central Kansas. Great Bend, Kansas is where we were at. Kenny's here with us. Grillmaster, Civic 63 Galaxy 4-speed. Do not have any 63 XLs. Only thing I've got in 63 is one Galaxy 4-door and one custom 4-door. 61 Impala. This one is a 4-door. And a 60 Parkwood with factory air. '64 Impala parts. I've got a lot of 64 Chevys. Just walked past one of the Bel Airs. 55 F100 there again. I've got several 53 to 55 Ford trucks. So like we mentioned earlier, guys, if you have specific parts lists, give me a call after we're done here. The Parkwood, it depends on how you wanted to buy it. You like the AC vents. I've got the AC vents pulled out of it. They're inside. But it is factory air. All the air is here, but obviously based on the value of the AC vents, they are pulled off and inside. So it would depend on if you wanted the car, if you wanted the factory air stuff, things like that. So, because it could obviously drastically affect the price. I do not have any Saabs. My phone number, it's in all the videos, and I will post it after the fact. 620-786-4428 is my number. If you want to give me a call after we get done and discuss, and get into some more of the specifics of things, always happy to do that. 67 Caprice. Yep, Planet, I haven't found any Saabs for you at all. But we're going to work our way up to some of those F350s. I got a lot of 88 to 94 Chevy trucks, Joe. Just depends on specifically what you needed there. Sounds good, Alex? Some G-bodies. Yes, it is in the videos, Alex. And I'll say it again real slow if you want. It's 620-786-4428. And yes, it's in the description part of almost all the videos. Still got the 37 farm truck, missed front sheet middle, left door off. That one I think is out back. I do have the remains of several 37 38s. So 39 Chevy pickup, ornaments, grill, lights, windshield. I don't have any 39 nose stuff at all. Here's a row of cabs that just came in a couple weeks ago. I haven't showed you guys at all. There's a 53 to 55 Ford right there. Give me a call after we're done, Joe. 620-786-4428. I will put that number in the description part of the video once we get done. So there's a 53 to 55 cab right here. For whoever's asking about Fords of this era. Still working our way towards those F350s. I got a lot of late 50 stuff Planet just depends on what you like. Okay, here's an F350. I think this is a 68 or 9. From Sprules right here in Great Bend. Did you see the 58 Buick video the other day, Planet, Wisconsin? That had a slug of chrome on it. Big Red saw it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yep, check that out, Planet, Wisconsin. So that one was an F350. Do not have any Impala convertibles in that era. No, I don't. And let's head over to, I know I got a 78 F350 as well over here. '57 Chevy frames. I do have several 57 Chevys, so that I've got frames under them, depending on. I don't know if every frame is the same on a 57. So, JP liked it. Appreciate that. There it is. I see that 78. Actually, there's a couple of F350s over there. So heading towards some F350s. And if you made a comment about something you wanted to see and I missed it, go ahead and repost it and I will try to get to it. It gets pretty busy on here. We've got 60 people on right now, so there's a lot of things happening, and I apologize if I missed your comment, but go ahead and throw it back up there. And we'll sure try to show you what you wanted to see. A couple more F350s for our Ford friends. 78 F350 dually. Yeah, that's what I thought, Classic Car Guy. Most cars, there are a lot of different frames, so just depends on what you need and what I may have here. So 74 F350 Super Cab, single wheel. Appreciate that, Kenny. Says hit the like button. Yep, these trucks did used to be everywhere, and they are super hard to find anymore. I've got my 78 F350 or F250 at home in the shop. So, what's next? What do you guys want to see next? JP's familiar with the Super Cabs. I love the Super Cabs. That's what we used when I was a kid to haul cars with. So I've always liked the Super Cabs. That 73 to 79 era of Super Cab, always liked them. Because that's what that's what I grew up in, basically. No problem, Joe. The only thing I've got in 71 to 75 convertible stuff is Pontiacs. Do not have any 55 to 56 Crown Vics. I do have some VWs, Alex. Just depends on what you're interested in. So I'm just wondering. I've got one bay window bus in VW. Is all I've got in VW bus is one like a 72 bay window. And it's up front. So if you guys want to see that, we can head that way. 86 F-150 videos. I do have 2 of those trucks. Sounds good, Joe? 55, 56 Fairlane hardtops. I've got a 4-door hardtop in a 5 or 6. So no oval window, no split windows, no. Nothing that early in VWs. Appreciate that, Classic Car Guy. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, absolutely. We do a lot of cool stuff on here. You don't want to miss any of it, plus the lives. Here's another F-350, a little bit earlier than the other ones, but J. Merck. Here's one that I don't understand why is here. I really don't. 65 Chrysler Newport. Complete car. I've not had it running. The guy that I bought it from told me it did run. Transmission was slipping in it. There's another transmission in the trunk that he bought to have overhauled and then was going to swap it out. So this is just a Newport. It's not a 300. However, it is equipped about like a 300. 2-door hardtop. And we look inside this thing. Buckets, console, floor shift, vacuum gauge. Well, I know a 65 Newport is not the most desirable car out there, but this is a pretty cool one. I figured somebody would have done something with this, but it's still here. Solid, complete, pretty good old car. Yep, that's right. Straight Six Fan did actually have a shot of this car in this week's video. All right. I'm going to head off in another direction that we haven't been to yet today. And that's what I thought. I mean, I can't believe nobody's jumped on that thing yet. I've had a ton of interest in it. I think I've got it priced pretty reasonably, but nobody showed up with a check yet. So we'll head off this way towards some cabs. We're going to head back to some 59 to 70 era full-size GM stuff. And like I said, if there's something you want to see, let me know. We'll head that way. Right now, I think I'm caught up. If I missed your comment, I apologize, just because things have gotten a little busy a few times. But throw it back up there and we'll sure try to catch it as we're working our way around through some stuff here. Lots of truck cabs. I've easily got well over 100 cabs lined up on pallets. Oh no, we haven't gone out back yet. I'm sure I could put another 500, if not another 1,000 cars in here pretty easily. Because when we go out back out that direction, there's cars out there beyond those trees. But if you can see the power poles clear off in the distance, I own all the way back to those power poles. The semi-trailer, that's a good question. And I'm glad you brought that up, Planet Wisconsin, because I walked right past it, and you guys need to see this thing. Because this semi-trailer is pretty darn cool. Bogart's was a grocery store chain, so this had hauled groceries at one point in its life. Do not have any Grand Nationals, no. I'm sure at some point I could run out of room. You know, I get another 500 or 1,000 cars in here, it's going to tighten up. But I mean, I can always crush some stuff too. I don't really crush the old stuff, but some of the newer stuff I could always crush. But what is so cool about this trailer, let's see if we can get in here and show some of the details of this thing. This is a Fruhoff. And look at the trim on this. Look at the hinges on this thing. Look at the hinges on these doors. I've got right at 20 acres here. I don't remember if this was insulated or not. It has this strips down the side of it. And I'm going to try to get around the front here and see if you guys can see up top. But look up top. Hope you guys can see that. Look at the wings that wrap around the front of this trailer. You know, that didn't need to be there. Strictly ornamental, but it's cool. Early 50s would be a very good guess. 60 Lark, 1-barrel carb. I don't have any Larks that early. I've got a 62 Lark, but it is a V8 car, so I wouldn't have a 1-barrel carb for a 60 Lark. Bill Wagaman's here with us. So yeah, this trailer is super cool. Look at the reflector on it. A very rounded front on this trailer. So early 50s, I would say, would be a good guess. Exactly, John. Something you never knew you needed them, but boy, you see something like that, it's like, that would be pretty cool. So yeah, it's a neat old trailer. Okay. I'm just kind of wandering again, so go through some 59 to 70 era full-size GM stuff, some beds and cabs scattered up here. Had a guy bring a lot of sheet metal in. There's some of the doors. 67 Chevy short bed, step side box. But what I did up here, yes, they were glass reflectors. Well, I started with Pontiacs. And like I said, this entire section here we're going to look at is going to be 59 to 70 GM full size. 59 and 60 was a very similar body. 69 and 70 was a very similar body. 71 GM completely changed the body. So that's kind of what I've got this group built as, other than a Tempest that got stuck here in the wrong spot. But so we're going to walk through here, the 62 Pontiacs right here up front. There's our 59 and 60s. Do not have any 55 or 56 Ford convertibles. I've got a 57 Ford convertible coming in, but nothing in 5 or 6. '64 Pontiacs, '65 Pontiacs. '66s. There's Brett with us. '67 Grand Prix. I've actually got 4 '67 Grand Prix here. These 3, plus one hanging out over there with the extra roof clip on it that's a complete car. Perry's here with us. Yeah, Brett always wants to see cutlasses. Getting into the Buick section, 59 and 60 era Buicks. And there's a bunch of Chevys mixed in here as well, as I've been trying to just kind of get stuff to this area. The 59 Buick 4-door hardtop flat tops, iconic cars, extremely popular. I mean, the 4-door hardtops are good looking cars anyway. This flat top roof design that they had in that era with the fins really made for a great looking car. I do have a 65 Tempest that has a pretty decent front bumper on it. Passenger door and fender for a 70 Cutlass. I've got a 71 2-door that I think the right door may have been okay on it. Yes, that's true. We'll show those trees here in just a minute. And then we can work up towards the Tempest and Cutlass stuff, guys. So obviously you can see a lot of Buicks in here. This is the section where they're going. But since all 59 to 60 GM stuff is coming to this area, a lot of Chevys have gotten stuck over here too, just so they're here roughly where they're going to need to be as I'm building out these areas. So we'll kind of finish up here a little bit, work back towards those tree stumps. The plane. Yeah, we should work our way back around the plane too. Thanks for being here, Tim. Glad you were able to hang out with us for a while. And then I actually left this area as an expansion joint so I could put another row of cars in. Before I started with 66, 67 era Buicks back here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. Yeah, I got a few here, Brett. Got a video coming on them here pretty soon, actually on the earlier ones. But here's those big trees we took out right at a year ago, last December. These were massive cottonwoods that were probably 40 feet tall. So you can see if those things came down 40 to 50 feet tall, it would have taken out about 4 or 5 cars. So we did a video with our good friend Beetle taking these things out. Glad that they're down just because of the damage they could have caused on taking out an entire row of cars. So, A-body stuff. Let's work our way up to some A-bodies. Some more of those little 50s era Chevy trucks. The trees look like Stonehenge. There's the Chevy trucks from the video the other night. So let's head towards the A-bodies. Look at that Tempest bumper. Look at one of those Cutlasses. And then we probably should work our way back towards the airplane. There is a surprise back by the airplane too. We'll give you a sneak peek at it. Yep, there's that old Delmont. I've got texts popping up. Guys, do not text me. It doesn't mean anything to me. You've got to call me so we can go over the specifics of exactly what you're talking about. Too many people on here, too many phone calls. I don't do anything on a text. I'll send pictures on a text, but that is it. I don't have time to type into my phone all day, every day. So just give me a shout when we're done. That's by far the easiest way to do it. So yep, there we've definitely got water standing in case you were curious. Beds, cabs. Okay, let's see, heading over this way, because that Tempest and that two-door Cutlass are both fairly close to each other. That's a great idea, Bill, but I did not bring any cookies out with me. But now you're making me hungry. That Cutlass is back around the other side. Here's a 71 Cutlass and that 65 Tempest are both pretty close in here. Then we'll kind of work our way back towards the plane. Everybody likes to see the plane. So here's this two-door Cutlass. That door's got just a little run through it. Okay, there's that Tempest right back there. Yuri, not sure where we're at on that one, Yuri. Okay, I think this car has a pretty good bumper on it, if I remember correctly. But we're going to find out. Factory 6-cylinder car. But I think this had a decent driver quality bumper on it. You bet, Joe. Glad you were on with us. Okay. There's that Hemi DeSoto wagon. That's cool. Love that car. I'd love to see somebody do something with that car too. Okay. There's a couple of Chevy 2s. That one's been here a little bit. The video on the one behind it is coming out maybe next week. I've got it shot. But the plane. Bill wants to see the plane again. Of course, everybody always wants to see the plane. Sounds good, Julian? My number is in the description part of the videos, Robert. I will add my number to the description part of this video as well. But once again, I'll give it to you as we're working our way back towards the airplane. 620-786-4428. And like I said earlier, you've got to call me. Texts, emails, none of that stuff ever works. There's too many questions. I've got too many cars. There's too many variables in this stuff that I've got to get as much information from you when you call as possible to make sure we're on the same page and I know what we're looking for. And something else a lot of people don't think about is you've got to be specific. Yep, there was a 51 bullet nose. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate that. And that's what people don't understand. You know, for one thing, when you say, you have any Chevy trucks? Well, I've got a couple hundred of them. There's no way to answer that on a text. You've got to narrow it down. You've got to be specific. And a good example of that is take 1960, for example. In my memorabilia collection, I've got the 4x8, 4 foot by 8 foot. I think it's 4x8, maybe it's 3x6. It's big. It's a showroom poster for the 1960 Chevy trucks. So, anybody want to take a guess when you look at the different GVWs, the different wheelbases, the different series, how many trucks do you think Chevy had available in 1960, not counting Corvairs? 88 D350 cab, there again, Eddie, which one do you need? Run a little low, Big Red. We're not open to the public. You just have to schedule an appointment with me if there's something that you want to look at. That's a pretty nice old GMC. Not even close. 88 single cab, I know I've got an 86 regular cab. I don't think I've got anything like 88, 89 in that Dodge cab. COEs, I've got some in my collection. Any more guesses on how many trucks were available from Chevrolet in 1960, not counting Corvairs? 39 Ford, we haven't done a video on that. We haven't shared that with you. Joe says 20. 36. 23, 23. Well, guys, none of you are even close. In 1960, with different wheelbases, different GVWs, different sizes, you got to remember they made pickups all the way to big trucks. Well over 100 different trucks were available in 1960 from Chevrolet. So when somebody calls us, hey, I need a part for my 60 Chevy truck, you just narrowed it down to over 100 different possibilities. Super Duties, there again, depends on what we're talking about, Buick man. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And I don't know if you've got a half-ton pickup or a 2-ton truck, because there's a lot of guys that mess with that bigger stuff now too. That's why that phone call is so critical and so important. 55 Pontiac, you guys haven't seen that one yet. We're going to be doing a video on that. 55 Plymouth, some 55 two-door hardtops in a row there. So, I got another trivia question for everybody. Who can answer this trivia question? I'm going to show you something real quick, and you guys have to guess who was here yesterday. Who was at my yard yesterday? I'm going to give you guys a clue. 99 F-250, 99 to 07 Super Duties, I've got about 20 of those. Yep, 79 half-ton power wagon, that's a cool truck. All right, guys, you have to guess who was in Great Bend at an auction yesterday based on one real quick clip, okay? Is everybody ready? Who was in Great Bend at an auction yesterday? So who was here? Yes. Yeah, Waycamp cheated because he already knew. So yeah, we've got the airplane. The airplane has some company. Our good buddy Tractor Mike was in town at an auction yesterday. Bought this, jumped in it, fired it up, drove it to the yard until he gets a truck here to get it. I may be coming to get it tomorrow, so it'll be gone pretty quick, but there's the airplane, 1959 Twin Beach. There was only one tractor, so he couldn't buy more tractors because there was only one tractor. Single wheel 4x4 1-tons on what, Eddie? The 1959 Twin Beach, originally with Piedmont Air, ground damaged in a wind accident. High winds caught it, did a ground loop, spun it into the fence, damaged the tail. Got to get the wings back on this thing and get it moved up front. Yes, I do have the wings, do not have engines for it, which is fine. But, got the wings right here. Get those back on there. Get that thing up front. Just haven't had time to do anything with it, but it's here. I'm excited it's here. I love this thing. I can't wait to get it up front on display. Thing looks amazing. So anyway, make you pay a storage fee. Anybody want a sneak peek at some stuff you haven't seen yet? We got some more stuff back. Yep, nobody's airline. There we go. If we look close, we can kind of make it out over here where it did say Piedmont. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not. It'll start right here with the P. Went right along there, said Piedmont Air on it. Actually, I think you're right, number one. I think they did roll into Delta, if I remember correctly. I think you are right on that. Gray Kitty Airlines, yeah. All right, who wants a sneak peek of some stuff you haven't seen yet? We're gonna swing around a group of trucks here. We've showed you a few of these. 94 F350 diesel, 84, 85 Grand Marquis. Showed you that GMC from Tractor Mike. It's awful wet out here. We're not going to get around all this stuff. But there's a few cool ones you guys haven't seen yet. Stay tuned. Videos coming up on those, including that old cab over Ford. 62, I believe. So anyway, most of it's for sale. Some of this stuff I keep for myself, or they're parts cars for cars that we have, but for the most part, most of the stuff is for sale. My plane's not for sale. You can't have my airplane, but so let's work our way back around this direction. Need to get this Pontiac video done. I've got a lot of 55 Pontiacs. 71 Eldorados. I do not have any 71 Eldorados. The only thing I've got in that era is a 76, and we're actually just about to walk up on it. So in those 70s Eldorados, this 76 is the only one I've got here. Sitting right next to a town car. Yeah, that one was a 76. I remember that, Brett. I actually had a model kit of that. Okay. What do you guys think? More stuff we want to see? We about ready to wrap up? What are we doing here? Don't know which one that is, Charles. Don't know which one he sent you pictures out of, so. So anyway, what do you guys think? G-bodies? Yeah, we can swing toward G-bodies. That's a good idea, actually, because we walked past them, but we haven't spent any time. Go by Brett's Cutlass. 98 ZJs. I think that's a Jeep, but I don't know what Jeep that was. And that's another thing, guys. I've got 2,000 cars. When you get into a very tight niche window, you got to be more specific for me so I know what I've got. Foreign stuff, I don't do much foreign stuff at all, other than a few Volkswagens and stuff like that. Asian stuff goes to the stack. Yeah, see, and that's why I've got that 76. Dad actually has a real nice low mileage original 76 convertible. So when I found that car, I went ahead and grabbed it just in case you ever needed some little knick-knack piece for his convertible. Julian says, keep going. 98 Grand Cherokee. I do have a few Grand Cherokees in that body style. Yep, I do have a few of those as well. So, G-bodies. There's Brett's old Cutlass right there. '39 Chevy pickup. And we'll work our way to some G bodies. There's a Monte. I've got some 78 to 81 Malibus, but I don't know if any of them are 80s. Another Monte Carlo here. Yeah, we've had a lot of cars coming in lately, Dan. I don't have a website, Eddie. I use Facebook and YouTube. Stuff changes so quick. Just like yesterday, I had 2 cars, 1 truck, 3 cabs, an entire trailer load of sheet metal come in yesterday. Nope, that's actually not a Can-Am. It is a Sport Le Mans. At first glance, it reminds you of a Can-Am, but it is a Le Mans Sport Coupe. All right, G-bodies, Grand Prix, Regals. Nope, at first glance, it looks like a Can-Am. I mean, just glancing at it, walking by, that's easy to mistake with those stripes on it. I haven't touched it, Brett. What do you want to see in Mopar, Eddie? We can head that way. You all right there, Cal 9? I don't have a ton of G-bodies overall. I've probably got 40 some of them. But there's a good glimpse of some G-body stuff. Whatever has Chrysler in its blood. I've got a couple of groups of Chrysler stuff we can head up to. So we can work towards some Chryslers. In fact, that 39's right up here on our way. We'll catch that 39 Chrysler because that thing is just super cool. Yeah, 10 or 15 years ago, should have bought every G-body out there. This thing is super killer. Boy, that does suck. 76 Free Spirit got scrapped. That sucks. That Dodge cab was a 78, I think. '39 Chrysler Royal. Same thing Johnny Carson had when he was a kid. Okay, let's go walk around a couple of groups of Chryslers real quick, and then you guys let me know where to go from there, or if we're about ready to wrap up. We've had some viewers drop off, so I don't know if we're about done here, or if there's more stuff you guys want to see. So we're going to walk around a few groups of these Chrysler product cars, and you guys let me know what's next, or if we're about ready to wrap her up. Jeeps. The Jeeps we just walked past, Eddie, do you want to catch those before we get to the Chryslers? We just walked past a Grand Wagoneer and a Cherokee. Some 88 to 94 GM trucks, all right, we'll catch some of those. Something fell on the roof of this thing in like 1989. Insurance totaled it, and it's been parked ever since. This thing's really solid. Same thing with this Grand Wagoneer. It had some lower rocker damage. It was totaled early in life. And been sitting ever since. That's actually, Brian, you're right, I do need some water. A lot of this stuff does still have engines in them. It just varies, but a lot of them actually do. I'm not sure. I don't even know if I've ever had the hood open on that Cherokee. That could be a 360, I'm not sure. Okay, on to some Chryslers, and then some 88 to 94 GM trucks, and then you guys let me know where we're going from there, or if we're about done. Sounds good, Matt. Glad you were here. How much for the 68 Impala? I don't know which one that was. In fact, I don't even know if we've walked past any of the 68s I've got. And I've got at least one more coming in. So, we'll swing around these Fords. Now, my Fords and my Chryslers are all getting moved as I'm realigning cars. Speaking of which, we haven't even been over to the other side. You guys realize we have not even been to the other side of the yard yet? So if you guys want to make a quick loop through the other side of the yard, let me know after we catch some of these Chevy trucks. But here's a couple sections of Chrysler stuff. Anybody want to build a high and mighty? 49 Plymouth 3-window coupe, just like the high and mighty was. So here's a sampling of some Chryslers. Like I said, these are going to be moved over into the other side as I'm realigning stuff in here. But not, we've got Chrysler stuff too. Dark gray 68. I've got two 68 here. One's light green and one's kind of teal. Green Edsel, yep. So if it was dark, maybe it was that 67 Caprice. Maybe that's the one we were talking about. '66 GTOs, I do not have any 66 GTOs here. I've got a lot of 66 and 67 A-body Pontiacs, but none of my 66s that I have right now were GTOs. So there's a sampling of some Mopars. Another one courtesy of our friend Glenn right there, Thunderbird. Do not have any 66 GTO taillights. Nope, I do not. Thanks 404, appreciate it. Glad you're here with us. Like guys were mentioning, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We do a lot of fun stuff on here. It's all old car stuff, cars, trucks, memorabilia. So if you guys are having fun today, hit that subscribe button, start hanging out with us. We do lives every week. We don't do yard walks every week. We do these every couple of months. The next one will be right around the first of the year. We always do one sometime right around Christmas or New Year's. So the next yard walk will be in a couple of months, right in that Christmas, New Year's window. The Mustang 2, Yeah, we can walk past that again. It's okay, but it is a basic 4-cylinder coupe. So let's head over that way. It's kind of on the way to where we need to go with those Chevy trucks anyway. And then, do you guys want to go over to the new yard for a little bit or wind her up? Did the High and Mighty crew turn into the Ram Chargers? The Ram Chargers is who built the High and Mighty. The Ram Chargers were the group that actually did the High and Mighty, and that is the exact style of car that they built the High and Mighty out of. All right, we got a few votes for the new yard. Here's the little Mustang 2. Really thought these would have a little bit more of a following than they do at this point, but they're still not quite there. But it is a fairly complete little coupe. How long did it take to accumulate all this? In 2011, everything in this facility was late model. We're still doing good on battery, actually, believe it or not. We look like we're at about half, which shocks me for as long as we've been on. Usually sucks them down pretty good. I'm moving internationals over there. I've got some Fords moved over there, as well as some internationals over in that area. So let's head over here to some of these 88 to 94 Chevy trucks and catch a few of those. And then we'll see what you guys think. We're getting some votes for the new yard, so you guys tell me what you think. Okay, travel-alls, we've got some of those over there. It's too muddy today even for a golf cart. But here's some of these 88 on up GM trucks that we've got. And these things are kind of scattered as well. Depends on which one you want, John. Any 2000 3/4 ton crew cabs? Do not have any of those, Brett. Oh yeah, you can get them, but here's what happens, Bill. Even if you got a 4-wheel drive golf cart, for as soft as it is, and you go sloshing through those holes, you just wash your holes out. So yeah, they can get around, that's not the problem, but I don't want to tear up my roads. So there's a few of the 90s era GM trucks we've got. And we're getting a lot of votes for the new yard. So we'll go over there and I'll show you guys some of the stuff I've been sorting and working on. And at that point, we will probably plan on winding things down unless we get a big list of stuff to look at. So like we mentioned earlier, if you've got any questions, give me a call, 620-786-4428. Texts, emails, none of that stuff ever works. You got to call me so I can get as much information from you as possible. I've got so much inventory here that I've got to have a pretty good idea what I'm looking for when I get out here, or I could spend all day looking for something. So, and not even be looking for the right part. So let's just cut right through here. I think we can make it through here. Don't have any Datsuns. Pickup beds. Lots of beds, lots of cabs. Cut through a few more G bodies here. 85 Monte Carlo. I don't have an 85. We just walked past a pretty complete 84 a little while ago. Okay, let's head over to the new yard. You bet, Julian. Glad you were here. Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate that. Like I said, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We do a lot of fun stuff on here. I think you guys will enjoy it. If you like what we're doing here, you're going to like what our Sunday night lives are, as well as the content that we put up. What's coming up next week, by the way? Rangeline Antique Mall. I actually found an antique mall in Joplin, Missouri that has antiques. I mean, crazy, right? Signs, cans, toys. They've got other decorator type stuff that I'm sure your wives would love, but for what we love, they actually had cool stuff. But I'm going to put that video up. Brought a whole load of parts back recently. We're going to share that stuff with you. Video-wise, what's coming up? 65 Nova, 48 Ford truck, 94 Ford F350 diesel that's not a Power Stroke, come to find out. More beds, square body beds. Randy's here. Appreciate that 10X, that's awesome. I think you guys will like what we do on here. But most of the stuff over here, I'm starting to move some stuff around. But everything over in this yard over here was a mess. This yard here has been here for decades. It was tied up in an estate. I just got it bought 4 or 5 years ago. But, you know, there again, was that you that's been calling me, Terrell, on that Nova fender? I'm going to try to jump on, Bill. Falcons, there's some Falcons right here we can catch. So I'm starting to integrate my inventory into this inventory over here. Yeah, don't ever call me at 1 o'clock in the morning ever again. Anybody that calls me at 1 o'clock in the morning gets blocked. Point blank. I'm not dealing with it. But I did look this morning. The only one I've got's rusted out. Great Bend, Kansas. We are located right about in the middle of Kansas. 65 Falcon hardtop, 64 Falcon hardtop. Did I have more over here? Oh, there's another one over there. So there's a few Falcons. Let's see. I want to show you guys what I've been working on. This is a long, slow process trying to integrate this inventory. Like we mentioned, over there where we were just at, that was a late model production yard up until 2011. They smashed everything in there in 2011. This side over here has been here for decades, just hung up in an estate. Asking for the whole Falcon. Well, it doesn't matter where I live. You call me at 1 o'clock in the morning, even if I'm on the west coast, that's still 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, those Falcons are pretty neat. But I did look at it right before I did the live. I checked parts right before the live. The only one I've got's all rusted out on that fender. Studebaker Wagonaire. First generation S10s. Yes, I do have some of those old square S10s. Depending on what you need, I do have some of them. I've got a bunch of new takeoff beds for those early S10s. But as we get up here closer to this area, I basically just picked a point and started working. Been working on Fords over here. As we're coming up here towards this is kind of where I've gotten to. I've got most of my shoe boxes back here. I think I've got one more shoebox Ford I need to move over here. So slowly but surely making some progress, getting like type cars moved together. Now I've got my Mercuries in here as well with these 49 to 51 era shoebox Fords. The crazy part about this is as I've been sorting these, yes, I ship almost everything, Dan. I do have some people that schedule appointments and pick their stuff up, but I usually ship, a slow week is 10 to 20 packages. A busy week, I'll ship 30 or 40 packages out of here. So I left a roadway in here that I will get built up between these groups of Fords. Depends on which one it was. I don't remember where we were at. Give me an idea on year and color, we can try to catch it. But obviously there's the beginning of the shoebox Fords. I don't know why they call it a shoebox. That's just what they've always called it. And then we go into the 41 to 48 era of Fords. And like I was going to mention, what's kind of weird is when I get into some of these cars, like 41 to 48 Fords, awesome, Randy got his raffle prize from last week. What do you think of that truck, Randy? Is that thing not super killer? There's Bill Disk. Randy got his killer raffle truck, the raffle prize he won, that awesome Structo truck from last month. Blue 65 Falcon roller. I've got a full video on that car, Dan. You can watch that. And I'll look it over again and see what all's there and see what we can work out on it. But like these 41 to 48 Fords, if you'd asked me before I moved them, I'd have told you I probably had 6 or 8 of them. I've actually got like 15 of them once I started gathering them all up. Okay, that's probably that 83. We can walk past that when we go back around here in a little bit. 40 Ford two-door sedan. So up here towards, I've got this 40 stuck back here because I had the front row full where the earlier stuff was at, as well as with this 37. So basically that's what I'm trying to work on. Just trying to get this stuff grouped together, like type stuff. So that I can check parts, or guys to know what can come look at one group of cars when they're looking for something specific. Yeah, don't have time to make one complete one. I'm sure he thinks it's cool. That's a great truck. Randy Ellenberger, our big winner in last month's raffle. This month's raffle, all those brand new license plates. 3 guys are going to get sets of brand new old school metal painted license plates. So next group I'm working on internationals. We had a question about travel alls. Here's a travel all right here, 67. I've got a ton of gas pumps, and yes, I do have some I would sell. I've got so many of them at this point, I do need to sell some of them, actually. Well, I say that. I let Pete buy one, I let Rico buy one, so I've still got a few I'd sell. So starting my next group off, I put these white flags in the ground. I have to measure off how much room I need to swing my loader in between these groups of cars. So that's, as you see these little white flags around here, that's what I'm doing with those. So I have a starting point as I'm building out the next group of vehicles. Starting with old binders up here. But just to give you an example, this row I haven't touched. This is what things were like in here. Chevy pickup, Chevy car, Hudson Hornet, Ford pickup, Chevy Vega, Chevy car, and Kaiser Frazers. Depends on what you want from Monte Carlos. I don't have any good projects for sale right now. I've got several parts cars. But this is an example of what it was like in here. Just really no rhyme or reason to any of it. So kind of trying to integrate this inventory with my inventory and get it somewhat organized. Sounds good, Dan. Check that thing out. Give me a shout. We'll see what we can figure out. We'll work our way back past that other Regal. And then see where we're going to go from there. Yeah, I agree, Randy. I don't like this vertical stuff, especially when we're trying to look at all these cars. And I know a lot of you guys are on your smart TVs and tablets, and you have to be vertical now. I'm hoping YouTube changes that so we can go back to horizontal, but as of right now, we're pretty much stuck with this. And I don't like it a bit either. Okay, let's kind of work our way back around. Walk past that Regal, and then see what else you guys want to check out. There's the concrete mixer. Pinto, Corvair, Vega. You used to be able to choose it, Eddie. As of about a month ago, it went all vertical. Computer, yes, computer you can still do that. Mobile, you're strictly vertical right now. And as I said, up until 4 or 6 weeks ago, even on mobile, it would give you the option to go vertical or horizontal. But at this point, they are strictly vertical. Nothing close here, Brett. Yeah, none of us really like it, Eddie, but unfortunately when we're on mobile, we're kind of stuck right now. I think this is the Regal we were talking about. More pickup beds. Sounds great, Kenny. Glad you were here for a while. Something else that just jogged my memory walking up on these front clips. One thing you guys, if you're calling me or anybody else for parts, you've always got to be specific. 64 Chevelle, if you call me and say, do you have any 64 Chevelles? I'm going to tell you no. And if you hang up without telling me what you need, I may have the parts, because I've got a whole front clip and a bunch of other 64 parts in stock. So that's one thing you always want to be specific, whether you're talking to me or anybody else when you're looking for old parts. Be specific about what we're talking about. Had some people asking about Volkswagens. Here's a few Volkswagens. One Porsche. So, I'd have to look it over again. I haven't looked at it in quite a while to see what I would want for that. Basically, I'm going to add up what the big parts are worth and kind of figure it from there. So probably looking somewhere in the $5,000 area, because that car's pretty solid, and what for just based on what all the parts are going to bring. Any 442s there again, Eddie? What year are we talking about? And what do you guys think? We're about ready to wrap it up. We've been on here for, wow, we've been over for 100 minutes. Holy cow, 100 minutes. So what do you think? We about ready to wrap up. We don't have as many comments pouring in as far as what people want to see. So if there is, let me know and we'll try to catch it. If not, we'll probably start working our way back up towards the shop and get ready to wind things up. Maybe show you a glimpse of some of the stuff that came in yesterday if you guys want to see that, just a sneak peek as we're working our way up, unless we see some other stuff. Motorcycle stuff, David, I don't have anything. I don't know anything about them. Pretty much out of my wheelhouse, so don't have any motorcycle stuff. Let's see. Derek's working on a Honda DIE. Glad you're enjoying yourself, Walter. So, glad you guys had fun this morning. Like I said, we'll be on a few more minutes as we work our way up towards the front. If there's something else you want to see, let me know. We'll try to catch it. If not, we're going to work our way towards the front. I'll show you guys a quick glimpse of some of the stuff that came in yesterday, and then we'll probably wind things down. So, keep an eye on the comments. That S10 is way back over there. So we're not getting anywhere near that S10. So, all right. Glenn says hit the like button, appreciate that. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Appreciate all the support you guys give me on here doing that stuff. Try to do a good job for you guys. I try to have some fun with this. We try to put out decent content. I don't know what I'm doing, so you got to weigh that into all my videos when you watch them, that I am nowhere near a professional, but just bear that in mind. But we have a lot of fun with this old car stuff, so I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself today. But anyway, we'll catch a few more things that have come in recently, just like this one we looked at just a little bit ago from our good friend Glenn. Thunderbird that Glenn saved for us. Nowhere near complete, but not a terrible old car. Still a lot of parts left on that one. I don't know, Glenn, but it was a lot. We've been on for 103 minutes. So, yeah, that's 103 minutes of walking. And I haven't stopped for that whole 103 minutes. But just to give you an idea of some of the stuff that came in yesterday that I've got to sort out, this is part of it. Check this out, this is cool. Studebaker. All these parts have to be sorted through. A couple of the nicest 67 to 72 Ford pickups hoods I've had in a long time. Lots of Ford pickup parts. Appreciate that, Bill. That one came in. There's that Mercury. We're going to bring you some content on that as well soon. All these cabs came in. So, and it's so wet, I just had to dump it all right here in the front. So I got to find homes for all this stuff. And one more that came in yesterday we'll show you real quick. Once again, courtesy of our good friend Glenn. Keeping an eye out for us and saving this stuff so that it doesn't go into the shredder. Sending me pictures, giving me a chance to buy it before they crush it. On this old 66 Plymouth. It is just a four-door, but it's not a terrible old car. So anyway, what do you think, guys? I guess we'll get ready to wind her down. I do need to get back to town. How much for the burgundy car? There again, I'm kind of lost at that point. I don't know which one we went past because the comments don't come through instantly. So Glenn helps us out a lot. Glenn saves a lot of stuff for us. So we definitely got to give him full credit for that. So there's a lot of iron in here that would not be on the face of the earth anymore if Glenn hadn't saved it. He's probably got us 6 or 8 cars this year that we're heading to the shredder. Glad you enjoyed it, Perry. By the El Camino. I don't remember which one that was, Tara Wayne. We'll just have to get into some specifics, or you can call me later. So, but anyway. Man, I can't believe the battery held in so well today, amazingly. But anyhow, I think we'll wrap it up. It's noon here. I've actually got to get to a lunch here after a while and then get on the road later this afternoon. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to try to jump on tonight. It may not be right at 7:30. It depends on when we get there, when we get to the hotel, when we get checked in. But I would imagine sometime in that window, I'll probably be in the room. So obviously it won't be a full episode, but we'll jump on and hang out for a little bit tonight. Had a great yard walk today. Had a great crowd on, lots of comments. Appreciate all your guys' support and involvement in this. And what it all boils down to, it sounds like a lot of you guys had fun, and that's what's important. So throw the video out there, share it with your friends, let them know we're here. Jump on, hit that subscribe button, jump on with some of our lives. We do a live every Sunday night. We do a live every Tuesday night. And we got more new content coming this week. Every week, like we talked about. I'll get the Rangeline Antique Mall video up because there's some cool stuff there. I did buy a few pieces of it, but I didn't buy near all of it. So don't know for sure which one that was, Gary. Didn't catch that one. But we'll try to get on tonight. We'll get some more of that new content up, some new inventory, the Rangeline Antique Mall. As always, if you've got any questions about anything from today's yard walk or at any point in time, give me a call, 620-786-4428. That's the only way to get a hold of me and try to have a conversation about this stuff. Text, emails, none of that stuff is ever complete. With a couple thousand cars on the ground, I've got to know what I'm looking for and what you're trying to do. And the other thing about it is a lot of these guys, there's a lot of different styles of builds. If somebody's doing a 100-point restoration, they're looking for a different part than a guy who's doing a patina truck and needs a faded green left front fender. So without having that information, it's difficult for me to know what I'm looking for. So that's why the phone call is so much easier. Appreciate you guys taking some time hanging out with me today. We had a great time. We had a good yard walk. Weather was nice. Hopefully the wind noise didn't get too bad for you guys because it has been pretty decent this morning. So glad that worked out for us. And let's see, make sure I got most of the comments. Appreciate all that. Appreciate you guys' support and tried to catch most of them. 70 Charger 500. I do not have any 70 Charger 500s, Carolina. The only Coke bottle style Charger I've got here is a 69, a regular 69 383 car, and it's pretty rough. But anyway, and a lot of these cars that we did see today, including that 69 Charger, there are individual videos on them. About 3 or 4 years ago, I started doing videos on cars as they came in. Now, obviously with a couple thousand cars here, there is nowhere near all of them on YouTube, but a lot of those cars, a lot of cars are on there. I don't have any e-body stuff right now, Carolina. I do have a buddy that's got a 70 Challenger project in stock. Big Job jumped on right here at the end. Awesome, Cal 9, appreciate that. And glad you enjoyed hanging out with us. So like I said, if you see something you're curious about, be sure to check out the channel, check out some of the other videos. Your favorite car might be on there. If not, you can call me and I can get you some more specifics or details or get me a list of what you need. No problem, Carolina. That's what we're on here for. That's why we do these, and that's why we do them live. Like I said, we try to do these every couple of months as things change. It's been a little while since we did one though. The next one will be sometime right around Christmas. We always do one right around the first of the year. Whether that's New Year's Day or, you know, sometime between Christmas and New Year's, depending on weather at that point in time and scheduling. But we will do another yard walk live sometime right around the first of the year, because we always like to kick the year off with a fresh, new live yard walk. With that, I think I'm going to wrap up, get to lunch. Glad you guys were here. I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you. And a lot of you new guys, I hope you all subscribe, and we hope to see you soon on some of the other cool stuff we do. Stay tuned, more cool content coming up. Thanks for being part of the yard walk today. Give me a shout if you've got any questions, and be sure to check out some of those other videos. So I'm hoping you're wrong, Brett. That's right, Randy. Hopefully we'll see you guys tonight if everything works out. And if not, we sure. Oh, Toy Tuesday, I still won't be back for Toy Tuesday. So Toy Tuesday, we will probably plan on skipping this week as well, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do it Tuesday night, but we will try for tonight at least. So anyway, thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys spending a good chunk of your Sunday morning with us. Glad you had fun. Stay tuned. A lot more cool stuff coming up, and hope you enjoyed today's yard walk and enjoyed checking out some of the cool old iron we've got around here. We have a lot of fun doing this, and hope you guys enjoyed being part of it. Thanks for being here, and thanks for making this a fun and successful yard walk today here at Nobody Else's Auto. Hope to see some of you guys tonight. If not, we'll see you on some videos this week. Have a great week, everybody, and stay tuned for more cool stuff coming up.